I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this video, and that's okay. I'm used to it. So the question is, when can I have a cheat meal when I'm trying to lose weight? You had them all already. You had all your cheat meals. You had them year after year until it got so bad that you found yourself searching on the internet for how to fix this completely fucked up situation that you put yourself in. You've had hundreds of them, maybe more. So to answer your question, you can have a cheat meal when you get lean. And when you say, well, I need one on the way, you say, okay, well, your cheat meal is going to make it take longer for you to get lean. And you're like, well, I'm not going to be able to get lean that fast anyway, right? It takes a long time to lose weight. It's going to take longer if you have that cheat meal. And so listen, guys, I'm not like some like shredded trainer that like has some incredible genetics and metabolism and has never been overweight. Like, I've been terminally obese, 34% body fat, 264 pounds. I've yo-yo dieted most of my life. And the things that I've learned along the way that I completely fucked up is that, first of all, I gave myself way too much permission not to be consistent. This thought process of cheat meals, there's nothing in and of itself wrong with a cheat meal. You know, in bodybuilding terms, they call them refeeds. So meaning like they'll be on like a restricted number of carbohydrates and you'll be losing body fat. And once or twice a week, they'll have you add 200, 300, 400 grams of carbs in, usually in the form of something like white rice, maybe with soy sauce, something your body can process easily. Your body will suck all those carbohydrates right up. That next morning, your weight will be up 3, 4, 5 pounds. And then the following day, your weight will take a big dip under what it was before and you'll get a new low. And this process is called carb cycling and it does work. But the difference is that it's like 3 days of lower carbs and then a day of higher carbs. And that only really works if you've actually depleted the rest of the carbs out of your system. If you're carrying so much weight and so much sugar in your bloodstream, it's not really going to help you that much. So listen, now that I am lean and for the first time in my life, guys, I'm 47, I'm able to maintain it. I maintain it by the fact that I have a very consistent routine. I don't want to say the word boring because then people are like, oh, that's so boring. You eat the same thing all the time. I don't just eat the same thing all the time. I eat the same types of thing all the time. So I might go through 4 or 5 days where my main protein is I cooked a few pounds of salmon. And then when I go to the store 4 or 5 days later, it might be, 3, 4 pounds of carne asada. And then maybe it's ground hamburger for a while. And then maybe it's chicken thighs for a while. So I don't always just eat the same thing all the time, but I eat the same types of thing all the time, meaning that it's probably going to be around 50 grams of protein for my body weight per meal. Maybe that's 25 for you, maybe that's 75 for you, depending on what your goals are. But the point is that you figure out the longer that you stay in shape, that boring, repeatable, consistent habits are what does it. Now, does that mean that I don't ever have a treat? Like most nights I have a cup of ice cream before I go to bed, but that's pretty much the only thing that you wouldn't call a bodybuilding food that I eat. My general diet, guys, is I wake up, I do this walk, 30-minute walk. I come back in, I have a big protein shake with a lot of protein in it and a bagel. I've been on the same protein powder for 3+ years. My body absorbs all of it, no problem, almost 100 grams of protein. I'm not going to get in an argument again with people that have never been in shape about how much protein you can absorb at one time. And then I have that with a bagel with no sugar jam. Generally go train, come back, have a Greek yogurt bowl, which is like 2 Greek yogurts for 40 grams of protein with a bunch of berries in it. Usually 2, 3 o'clock, I'm going to have some kind of meat and rice. Then dinner time with my family, probably either some kind of meat and rice or meat and potatoes or meat and vegetables, like typical food, but just prepared in a way where we're not using, a bunch of heavy oils and other calorie heavy things that we don't need. And then at night, I'll either be done, won't be hungry, or if I am hungry and I want something sweet, I'll have like a small coffee cup full of ice cream. And it still only puts me at about 2,100 calories a day and over 200 grams of protein. So you can see that it doesn't matter that day if I'm eating steak or salmon or chicken thighs or ground hamburger or ground turkey or whatever. Generally, that's pretty much how my day rolls. It doesn't have to be your diet. Just giving you an example of something that works for one person. But what I want to encourage you guys to think about is, just like the other day I answered the question for a client for everybody in a video about, is fasted cardio better than regular cardio? You guys are asking the wrong questions, meaning that shouldn't be your focus, just like a cheat meal shouldn't be your focus. Now, if you're dieting for 6 to 12 months, at some point you're going to slip up and have a cheat meal. Yeah, it's going to happen. At some point you're going to go out and have an evening with friends or coworkers where maybe you say yourself, you're going to have one drink and you end up having more, or you go out to dinner with your family, friends, coworkers, and you intend to have something healthy, but you really want some fries that day and you go over your calories. I'm human. This happens to me too. Not any different than anybody else. The difference is that most of the time I have a plan laid out and I just follow the plan over and over. And when the plan is locked in and you know it works, like I've had that protein shake and bagel meal literally hundreds of times because I know that if I have that, my body's completely saturated with protein for the start of the day. I have just enough carbs to have a great workout, but not so much that it's going to be stored as body fat. And then it works perfect. I know what, 2 Greek yogurts and a cup of berries is going to do to my body. You get used to these things where you realize that the more consistent and repeatable things are, the more kind of data points you get that works for you and that makes you successful, guys. That's what I just think is really important is to remember all the time is it's not this fancy thing where you have to have this perfect diet written out by a trainer. I don't even give my clients, and I've helped at this point in my life over 3,400 people with transformations. And the data basically that's come back from a lifetime of helping people get in shape is like doing the same productive shit over and over is what gets you there. So I'm not trying to say you can't have a cheat meal every now and then, but I'm trying to say that if that's what you're worried about, you're focusing on the wrong stuff. Figure out what food tastes good to you, what food has good macros for you, what foods you like. Like I said, I don't even write meal plans for my clients. I tell them get 50 grams of protein and 60 grams of carbs, for instance, for each of breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then have 2 snacks at 30 protein, 20 carb during the day. And then they can figure out what they want to plug into that. Now, if they ask me for suggestions, of course I'll give it to them. Of course I'll tell them, have this or have that, or this is a good example of that. And I'll send them a bunch of templates. But the point of it is that that's not really what it's about. As long as you're in a calorie deficit and you hit your protein goal every day, you're going to be able to change your physique at will. And once you realize that and stop concentrating on these things like, does my cardio need to be fasted? Or is the step mill better than the elliptical? Or how often can I have a cheat meal? You start to realize that these things are not the important things. The important things are that you're in a calorie deficit, you eat your protein goal every day, you lift your weights 3 to 5 days a week, hard and heavy, progressive overload style. You try to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. I didn't this morning. I woke up at 3:30, couldn't go back to bed. I missed 2 hours. I'm human. But, I take my 30-minute walk every morning. Maybe that's what's right. Maybe you love to do a Peloton thing 3 times a week with your favorite instructor. Whatever it is, get your habit set up to fit your life and be repeatable, and stop making all of these fucking excuses that I know that you make for yourself because I made them for myself, guys. We're so inundated. The internet is a great thing. Social media is a great thing because it gave us access to unlimited information. It's also a terrible thing because it gave us access to an unlimited amount of information, and you don't know what's true, what's important, and what you really need to worry about and prioritize. So when you're looking at what do I need to prioritize the core things that are important in your nutrition and your training, you'll get the results you want. And you'll be able to answer very easily for yourself through experience. Do I need a cheat meal? Do I need to do my cardio fasted? Is the elliptical better than the Stairmaster for me? Whatever it happens to be, because you'll have reps on reps of doing it. But it's the doing that teaches it to you. One guy might hate the step mill, and that guy might love the elliptical, or vice versa. You know what I do for 90% of my cardio? I'm a 50-year-old guy with abs. I walk. It's a 30-minute walk every morning. I walk out the door. That's it. Walk 15 minutes away from my house. My alarm beeps. I turn back around. And I had that for the first couple of weeks of this walk. Different directions that I'd go from my house. Now I know exactly where the turning point is. I don't need the stupid alarm anymore. I walk 15 minutes back. It's all recorded on my Apple Watch. I know how many steps. I get 7,000 steps a day just from doing this walk and walking around the rest of the day. So we're overcomplicating everything. Keep it simple. Keep it boring. Keep it repeatable. And keep it consistent. And you will get consistent results, which is what you want. To not only get in shape, to finally be able to stay in shape, guys. This video helped you at all, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.